Before the break, we heard from Gregg and Tom Martens, the candidates for Illinois' State House 72nd District. Now we'll hear what they believe should happen to the state's controversial Safety Act. It's part of Your Voice, Your Vote coverage here on News 8 at 6:30.
The Safety Act, it's very controversial. It's a big piece of legislation that some of it's already in effect, some of it's going to be in effect. Can you help us understand where you stand on that? And would you do anything to change that direction or keep it there?
No, there's a lot. There are changes that have to come to the Safety Act. I spent 32 years working in the Illinois Department of Corrections. I participated in this criminal justice system. I saw the good and I saw the bad. I saw a system that we do, we do need some changes within the system. The Safety Act was set up to really do two things: to create pretrial fairness and to keep our communities, and our police officers safe. And right now, I think the body cameras, I think that's a good element of it. I think the current cash bail system that we have is not fair because, and it certainly doesn't serve the need of keeping us safe, because the reality is, under our current system, you will post bail or bond with the act that you've committed, whether it's a domestic or more, whether you've perpetrated violence. You can actually buy your freedom. If you're poor, obviously you cannot. So there's an unfairness right in that. But you're not protecting the community. Under the Fairness Act, the judges decide who gets released, who doesn't get released. And the important thing is that we make sure we provide law enforcement and our state attorney's office with the resources to make sure that they can prove to a judge why this individual's dangerous and why they shouldn't be back out there on the streets. But there's a lot of work to do on the Safety Act, a lot. I'm also someone who not only served 30 years in the DOC, but I'm also someone who's been on the side of negotiating tables for a long time. We have to get all of the stakeholders in there. We have to get the communities that are impacted by the highest rates of crime. We have to get our police officer unions. We have to get everybody at the table and try to come up with a solution to just what we're dealing with, because we also have to acknowledge the fact that we have a criminal justice system in which the minority population is well around 70%, but only makes up about 30% of the population outside of the Department of Corrections. So we need to look at this from all angles, but we'll get there. I really believe we can get there.
Tom, do you see things the same way?
Not exactly. I do agree with the body cameras. That helps the police and it helps the individuals who are committing crimes. We do need to get rid of it. I don't agree with Gregg that just because you're poor, you should have a get out of jail free card. Bail is one of the first things that people should be thinking about if they commit a crime. And that's just one of the first deterrents versus the sentence you get for committing the crime. There's a lot of things in this bill that encumbers the police to do way more paperwork and make them not out on the street because they're doing things with paperwork than out there fighting crime. And this is just another attempt to deflate the law enforcement community and make it look that they're the bad guys and we have to protect the criminals. So we need to get rid of the Safety Act altogether, and we can definitely fund to get body cameras at the same time.
To view a more in-depth version of these interviews, you can tune into News 8 this week on Sunday morning at 10 a.m.